Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, September 12th, 2014. You can follow us on Twitter at CATEX TV. Australia has raised its threat level to the second highest warning in response to the domestic threat posed by ISIS. Prime Minister Tony Abbott announced the increase from medium to high. This is on a 4-tier scale. He said that the Australian Security Intelligence Organization said that this does not necessarily mean that a terror threat is imminent. They have no specific intelligence of particular plots, but they do have intelligence that there are people with the intent and the capability to harm Australia. Abbott said that the new setting is broadly comparable to the setting in Britain, where the terror threat level was raised last month to the second highest level as well. Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia right now, Secretary of State John Kerry is meeting with the representatives of 12 Islamic nations who have promised to join in the front, the coalition that the Americans are proposing with the British and the French and the Germans to fight ISIS. These countries indicate that they will support it. It's unknown whether or not the support is only going to be financial or whether or not actual military assistance will be rendered as well. 2 U.S. Navy fighter jets collided over the Pacific Ocean yesterday. They were operating from the aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson. Both planes are total losses. One pilot has been rescued and is being treated on board the carrier. There's a search underway for the other pilot. U.S. authorities have ordered the information technology giant Hewlett-Packard to pay a fine of $108 million after finding that the company was guilty of paying bribes through its subsidiaries in Russia, Poland, and Mexico. The Justice Department said that the HP subsidiary in Russia admitted to a judge in the Northern District Court of California that it violated several provisions of the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The company pointed out that the conduct, unfortunately, was limited to a small group of employees in Hewlett-Packard, Russia, who no longer work for the company. Toyota Motor Corporation announced yesterday that it's going to recall 140,000 of those giant Tundra pickup trucks. These would be the 2014 series, mainly in North America because of an airbag malfunction. An incorrectly installed part could possibly obstruct the side curtain airbags in the truck. The vote in Scotland on September the 18th for secession is being watched very closely throughout Europe. If you think of the map of Europe and think of the nationalities involved in many of those specific countries, you could recognize that there are a number of nationalities waiting to try to secede themselves. One such area is northwestern Spain, or Catalonia. Its epicenter is Barcelona. Hundreds of thousands of Catalonians, energized by Scotland's upcoming independence referendum, were protesting in the streets in Barcelona yesterday. Some estimates said that there were as many as 1 million people protesting in the streets. They're watching that vote very closely. The leader of the secession movement said that they are not wavering from their plans for a November 9th referendum. And in this case, the leader of the secession movement is actually the regional governmental leader of Catalonia, a gentleman named Artur Mas. The Supreme Court in Spain says that it's possible that the vote to secede is illegal, but he says that they are going to have the vote anyway, and since he controls the local apparatus, it most likely will occur. If the vote in Scotland is to secede, it's going to add more fuel to this. A massive explosion on the sun is sending a solar storm heading straight for Earth. It's going to arrive sometime today. Experts have said it might disrupt communications equipment and power grids when it strikes. The solar flare registered, quote, in the extreme band on the scale used by forecasters, a magnitude not seen for a number of years. It's moving toward Earth at a speed of about 2.5 million miles per hour. It's a gigantic magnetic explosion. Because it's pointed right at us, will at least catch some of the cloud of highly energized and magnetized plasma. This is according to an expert. While a warning has been issued, the expert said that solar storms don't directly harm people. They do, of course, disrupt electronic equipment. Meanwhile, beginning on Sunday night in Monte Carlo in Monaco in France is the annual Monte Carlo Reinsurance Rendezvous. We will be attending, we will be broadcasting from there. Last year we managed to obtain an interview with Lloyd's Chairman John Nelson. We'll see if we can do the same again this year. But the next time you see us, we'll be speaking to you with palm trees in the background, hopefully, unless it's raining, which in that case will be encamped in some hotel lobby, and you'll see security guards trying to chase us out. That's the news for today. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday from southern France.